this is going to be the first episode of hopefully many. Myself, business partner, training partner,
life
partner, potentially. No, I was going to be rude then, but I won't. This is first episode. Anyway, we're going to be trying to document our, what do you want to call it? The building THETA. I think we said yesterday. Yeah. Building THETA as a brand. But if people don't know who are watching this, we predominantly, George, if you want to explain what you do from your side of things.
Yeah. So I started the brand and I make the clothes behind it and kind of just run you lot really. And
from an athlete perspective.
And then obviously we all compete within Hyrox, but then some other bits and bobs as well. I drive the brand side of things, and then you obviously now.
George is the boss, and then literally we decided that I'm going to join on as a coach, driving the coaching side of things. So I was Russell Performance Training for 3 to 4 years, and then I met George a year and a half ago, probably a year and a half ago now actually. And the way the brand was going after we ran our first relay in London Olympia, it just seemed to the four of us, myself, George, Charlie and Trav, who are the two other lads in our team, it just started driving high performance, and we started attracting good attention.
I'd say good
attention from people wanting to wear the kit, people wanting to get coached by us in some way, or just be around when we're training. Which was really cool. And just from that, it's been a year and a half. We've set multiple world records now in the relay, which we currently don't have. But the plan is to try and fight for that back. Myself and Charlie. A lifelong goal of ours was to, I think all of our lifelong goals were to compete professionally in a sport which we all pretty much fell short on. George with the rugby, myself with the rugby, Charlie with football and cycling, and Travis with boxing and gymnastics. And me and Charlie have qualified for the Elite15 Doubles now in Chicago, which is 2 weeks away, which we're excited for. So since then we've seen a massive flux of just people again wanting to be a part of what we're doing, which is a great as well. I've then changed Russell Performance Training under THETA, and we're just driving this as under the same umbrella now, which just makes life so much easier. George doesn't live too far from me, so we can do days like this where George just comes round early in the morning, have some breakfast, do some work, just catch up with each other, how each other's getting on, because I'm programming George as well now, because his goal's to keep pushing his athletic stuff, even though we're pushing THETA as a brand. Where we're seeing the most progression is in our performance, and by just driving performance we're driving technically sales, and
it's all based in performance, isn't it? I think a lot of brands nowadays, maybe not wishy-washy, but they're more focused on how things look or what athletes they're bringing on board or who they're associated with and all of that, whereas ours is just if we perform, you can't take that away from you. So if you perform, everything else just falls into place. But the lifestyle to perform is everything that I want the clothing to be about and everything you want the coaching to be about. So it's just it's like a full package into a final result, and the final result ends up in sales or ends up in clients coming on board. So I guess the whole point of this is basically just to document what that performance lifestyle looks like, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So this first episode, there's no real structure behind it. We want to just show people what we do in just a general day. We've got a couple sessions to get over to HX1 today. We've got some work to do. I've got some programming of our athletes. We've got quite a few people competing this weekend in Cardiff, which will be fun to see how they get on. We've got some newbies, and we've got some more experienced Hyrox guys and girls doing it, and then we've got a couple people heading out to Chicago in a couple of weeks, including ourselves. We're in our mid-20s. We're just going to try and document as best as possible and as authentic as possible just the lifestyle. And I've had a few people message me and just say, like, even ask me like how I structure my day. There's not one day that is the same, but there's some kind of structure behind it. I think with the fitness industry, it's a great space for people to go self-employed, earn the money that they want to earn, be flexible with their hours, they can travel with it, they can compete with it. It's there's a little bit more to it than people think, and hopefully we can I can document the coaching side, and me being trying to be an aspiring athlete in this sport. It's not like we just do Hyrox, like we've come from other sports as well, but I think this is the thing that we're going to be pushing for the next couple years, next few years at least. And then just build the brand from the coaching side of things, the kit side of things, and then the performance as well. So thank you. This is the platform I use for all the athletes that I've got on board. You've got Gio there, Phil, Matt. This is like a bit of like almost Facebook landing kind of page, so I can see like when they've uploaded their session, I can see what they've done, like if they've completed all their blocks, their readiness score, how long the session took them, the intensity of it, and how much they lifted basically. So this is obviously a running session. It was just an easy, I think this is a shakeout because Stacey's over in Cardiff doing the Hyrox, so I can scroll through there, see if people have put notes down, but I can also jump onto the notifications and work my way through what everyone's basically been saying onto there. So this is everyone just uploading their stuff, so you can, like, this is 21 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago, 31 minutes ago. This is literally all today, and then yesterday, 10 hours, 11 hours, 12 hours. So currently I want to say we have 39 athletes on board, which is cool. I'll be taking lead on it, where we bring up some young coaches basically to come on board. We're probably most likely looking at someone like Charlie, who is still currently in work at the minute, but hopefully integrate him into the coaching. He's just got some things that he needs to sort out on his end. Or something I can at least help him with his own coaching. We're quite an open team, where like Travis is kind of doing his thing with Summit mentality, but we're all here to kind of like help each other. And yes, technically we'd all be direct competitors, but I think if we all just generally work together on it, like,
well, you can only handle a certain amount of clients,
you can only have so many. So
that is it.
After you.
The pussy wagon has arrived.
I always thought wall balls, like in the CrossFit days, it suited the taller person, but
that's shorter, mate.
I think it's shorter.
If you're strong enough to throw that fucking ball, you want to be shorter for the rep speed on the squat, because the actual throw isn't going to be an issue. Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, fine, you're closer to the target, so you're not throwing it as far, but you've then got to squat way further. I think it's suited for short people.
I've actually got it in my session today. So this morning I'm going to be hitting. I'll explain it a bit more when we're in there. But I've got like a mixed conditioning session with running in some stations, and then later on I've got a pure strength session. But at the end I'm doing some wall ball practice on my rep speed. So it's not conditioning. It's more about like, can I get my rep speed up to scratch and be really efficient on the wall balls in the double scenario. So when I was training for the solos in the men's pro, I'd consistently pick up like the 12 kilo wall ball, so I could practice with a heavier ball, practice with more volume with the heavier ball, so then when I went down to the 9 in the race, you can throw big sets and hopefully one day go unbroken, which I've not done. I throw usually 50 and then I go 10, 10, 10, 20, something like that. That's been my best wall ball. I think I did it in about 350 or 340, high 340s, something like that. But the idea in the solos would be eventually to go
what are you thinking? Similar thing to what we did at Charles?
Yeah, but you maybe do a bit more bike.
I'll just bike whenever you run.
Bike and erg.
Yeah. Easy peasy. Easy sleazy.
I'll have a little snack. Nocco.
You've got more snacks always, and then you get a snack.
Nocco, and then you're having a little snack.
What snack?
I do THETA.
You wouldn't want to share any, would you?
I've given you 2. So we've got 2 sessions today. I want to get this one out of the way because it's the priority for me at the minute, which is the conditioning side of things with running and the station-based stuff. So mixed conditioning. We'll do a strength session later on. If I was trying to pick on what session to do first in a day, I would always think what's the priority and what am I actually trying to get out of it. Because we're so close to Worlds at the minute, the priority is going, if you want to call it sport specific, on what I need to be doing. Then that is the Hyroxy style kind of workouts and training, and working on the areas that I think are going to help me as best as possible in the race. My strength session later on is to complement this stuff. So if my idea was to get stronger and we're way out from competition, I'd probably have it the other way around, where I'd get my strength session in first and then do the conditioning later. So this is why we've got it this way around. What we've got is 3 rounds, 2-minute run, 4-minute Tabata station, 2-minute run, 4-minute Tabata station, 2-minute run, rest 2 minutes, 3 rounds through that. So I'm going to be running. George has just picked up a little bit of a hip injury at the minute, so George is going to be bike erging during that. That is going to be a threshold effort, and ideally a higher end of threshold. So I want that to be as fast as I can go, basically, but something that doesn't tip me over the edge. So I'm going to be hitting a little bit harder on these runs today to see how we do. So probably race pace plus, I'll call it. The Tabata station, because I wasn't too sure about George's hip, we're actually going to just do this as you go, I go. So round 1, we'll go ski on here, and we'll go probably 30 seconds each on that, just so we get it quite comfortably up to the 4 minutes, nice and simple. Back onto the run, and then burpee broad jumps, we'll probably do a length each. Nice and simple, just up and down on air for 4 minutes, and then 2-minute run. George will be on the bike, and then rest. We'll go through that, but the second round will be row over here, where we'll probably do what we did when we did the Manchester doubles and how me and Charlie split it. Cool. It'll be 40 seconds on the row, 5-second transition. George then jumps on 40 seconds on the row, 5-second transition, so that's 45. It's quite nice, easy on the maths, and it's quite a nice time frame to get up to a nice firm pace, and you can just get a good feel for it, rather than doing meters. Let's say I'm pulling faster than George. If we go, let's do 200 meters each, technically, if I'm pulling faster than him, he's working harder because he's doing more time on the row, if that makes sense. So that's why we do that's why I prefer to do time domains. So we'll go, like I said, 40 seconds each, 5 seconds during the transition period, and then as we get close to the 4 minute mark, we'll just see how that works out, and then it might be a 30-30 towards the end. Burpee broad jump, same again. It's one of the movements that I need to work on a little bit more. I get pretty gassed out during them in solos and in doubles, so it's a good movement that helps with, I think, just your conditioning and a lot of the other stations. Doing farmers carries, you're probably just going to get good at farmers carries, but doing burpee broad jumps, the movement of your legs, the pressing from your arms, you're going to get good at those kind of muscle groups in the conditioning side of things. So your wall balls are probably going to get slightly enhanced from doing burpee broad jumps. Yes, it's not the exact exercise, but you're working similar-ish kind of muscle groups, and the movement is kind of the same.
And at a high heart rate as well.
And at a high heart rate.
That's what I found with burpees.
Exactly.
Doing not at a high heart rate, it don't correlate to the race.
I think you can do burpee broad jumps and get better at like even sled push, because you're on that sled push. It's quite powerful in the doubles, because it's like half length. So the burpees, I think, replicates quite a lot of them nicely. And then right at the end we'll go ski and row.
ski because I just enjoy doing the conditioning element. I don't want to be doing too many exercise stations, which I look at like lunges, wall balls and that kind of stuff, because I'm doing a strength session later on. So I want to do more conditioning based exercises. The rowing, I think, is just probably one of the best pieces of kit you can have from a conditioning point of view, muscular endurance point of view. It literally will help with pretty much all your stations in Hyrox, because there's a crossover in some way, whether it's grip strength when you're ripping it, whether it's your lower body power, endurance when you're pushing, and then when you're pulling with the sled rope pull. So it's a really good crossover and I like having it in. So yeah, that's the session. Go give it a crack. Quick one on the timer. We've actually got you on you're featured on our YouTube. How do when I click stopwatch, it's starting on, look, I'll show you. I need to turn it around. It's on 16, if you can see that. But then when I press start, it starts from 16.
Show me the remote, mate. On the remote.
We got it.
And then if you press reset, that should start that. Alright, kid.
Yeah, mate, you got it, legend. Technical difficulties already. In a bit.
Oh, that was emotional. Workout done. Cafe.
And then can I also get a flat white as well? Right, not that one, not that one. This is how many cafes I go to.
Ollie has it in his coffee shop.
Is that
Yeah. You're weird. But as well, when ideas get proposed, my immediate brain goes to skepticism. When we do it, and I actually start to understand, oh, I can use that, and that. And then like, okay, yeah.
So, session 2, strength session, going down. Quick little warm up into, for me, 3, building up to a heavy front squat box, to a bench. I don't really want to be going too much past the parallel at the minute, just because a lot of running volume. I don't want to mess my knees up, as that tends to happen with myself. So 3 sets of 3, nice and heavy. 10 seconds rest in between each set though, straight over to repeating broad jumps, 4 reps as far as you can, as powerful as you can. PAP training, post activation potentiation. So I usually start to add a bit more of that style of training as we get a bit closer to race day, peaking. Yeah, that's the reason for it. You're basically trying to recruit as much as you can on the heavy weight, and then using the similar muscle groups going into a more ballistic plyometric movement to make yourself more powerful. Push and pull, strength remand, so minute 1, heavy push press. Minute 1, heavy pendlay row, a bit like a bent over row, but we get a recovery on the floor. And then minute 2, 3 to 5 heavy push presses, 10 minutes, so 5 sets on each one. And then, I'll tell you what we've got after. second session done. That last little piece isn't really a Metcon. It's like wanted to get the time done in like 20-25 seconds, so we're getting loads of rest, but we want to be performing the exercise really fast and efficient. So we had sled pull and wall balls. It's just come to show in the doubles that my wall balls are good when we're doing lots of reps, but the rep speed is off. So I've had more of a focus on using the 9s and the 6 kilo, well, not really the 6 kilo wall balls, the 9 kilo wall balls. When I was doing the solos, it was more like practicing with the 12s, trying to go for big sets with that. So then when I go down to the 9, it feels nice and light. But in the doubles, because there's 2 of you doing it, it's you don't really have an issue. That actually shut me up a bit. You don't have an issue with the amount of reps that you do. It's just about who can perform the reps the quickest, and that's what we found in London. I was able to throw the big sets, but then Charlie had really good rep speed. When we see Travis do our wall balls in the relay, he's just so fast at getting out the hole in the bottom of the squat, so that's what I've been practicing. So it was literally just 15 reps on the wall balls on one of the minutes, just trying to think about speed and just trying to get it really accurate with hitting the target, and then catching the ball on the way down and coming out nice and quick. And then the sled pull, just 1 length each. It felt like roughly men's open weight, I would say, from an effort point of view. But it was just about doing it really fast, really efficient, feeding the rope through, putting it to the side, practicing the technique, but at real big speed. So that wasn't a conditioning Metcon, it was more speed and power Metcon. So we're done. Yeah. I don't really know how to do this, but we'll give it a try.
You subscribe.
Subscribe.
Common things you want us to talk about or answer or do. Maybe not do.
Maybe not do.
Maybe not do. And yeah, more episodes coming on the way, documenting the journey and all that.
In all seriousness, this is going to be something that we want to try and just, from our point of view, we get to document our journeys, and the people who are around us get to be a part of it. But then also people who want to feel like they're part of the team, and they might buy kit from THETA. They might want to look at getting on board with coaching, or just need help in general. That's why we're doing it, just so we can show you. That it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Well, I think we're building such a good team now. This is going to be a place where everyone can be involved in it, isn't it? That's sponsors, that's Eddie here with HX1, the guys in the team, and then also people that come to the community days and all of that. That'll be on here. So yeah, it's just a raw and real look in terms of everything that's going on behind the scenes, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So we'll be having Jake, the cameraman, helping us out with this. So thank you. Woof.